Hey friends, this is Dolynny TV. Glad to have you aboard this morning as I just wanted to discuss one thing I'm kind of recapping after watching the quotes coming out of the Zach Hyman golf tournament here over the past few days. The Edmonton Oilers, obviously very disappointed they didn't win the cup, but ultimately know they've got a very good shot next season. They've made some additions, the front office has gotten some praise, all that. But one of the most common things out of the couple of quotes we've seen is very simply that it is a short summer for the Oilers, a quick turnaround, a quick let's get back to it almost immediately, right? The Oilers season ending at the very last day of the NHL calendar for 23-24 in late June, and now all of a sudden you're midway through July. The Oilers are already back in the gym doing their stuff, and yeah, they're doing a golf tournament with Zach Hyman here over the past few days, but they're back in the gym doing their stuff, getting trained up. And the scary part here is, now you've got 13 days left in July. And oh, by the way, only 31 days left in August before those captain skates start around Labor Day long weekend. So that is for the Oilers, like I'm saying, a short turnaround. They're well aware of it. And the question for me personally here is that a concern, right? We know that the Oilers over the past several years have been to the playoffs bang, 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 and bang. And, well, third round, second round, now cup final over the past 3 years. Is it going to become a question of fatigue as it was in game seven, personally, for the Oilers, of always constantly going deep into the season? And is that going to impact things? So we'll discuss that in a matter of moments, but if you're new to the channel, I'd encourage you to hit that subscribe button here on Dolynny TV, just simply because, hey, you know what, there's going to be lots of Oilers stuff to discuss, and I know I'm getting the questions now. All of a sudden, I've been plugging it here a little bit again, and getting the questions, why do I ask right off the top of the video? Because if I don't plant that seed early, you don't remember to do it later. But yeah, for the Edmonton Oilers, right, short summer, and we had a terrible start to the year last year. I think that's the only reason I'm even bothering to question the short summer this year. Is, are the Oilers doomed almost a little bit to repeat what happened last summer, or last fall, I guess would be the better term, right? They show up in early September, and then all of a sudden the next 2 months after that are absolute disaster all the way until November 24th. Yeah, you know what? I don't think we're going to repeat that, but there is good cause for concern that the Oilers might not be their full flight right out of the gates in early October, early November, right? If this team is above pace in early October, early November, I'm going to be pleasantly surprised. It's not that I have low expectations of them coming out of the gate in September, October, November, but it is just simply, you got to be realistic to some degree. And I know a lot of people would say, well, they got to come ready to play. I think that's what they had to do last year, and they didn't. But anything better than last year, right? As long as you're somewhere above 500 by November 24th next season, I think we're all going to take that and be pretty happy with that, knowing what this Edmonton Oilers team over the past 2 to 3 seasons has been capable of in the later half past game 41 or so of the NHL calendar. So I'm looking forward to seeing hopefully a better effort out of the gates from the Edmonton Oilers. And obviously, if they're working in the gym already and they're trying to get prepped up and just really build up that strength and make sure the durability is there for another long season, well, we know that obviously guys are dealing with injuries and stuff too, but not to the degree maybe they were last year, which is nice. And so far it sounds like everybody's healing up good and everyone's looking ready to go for game number one of the season. So if that all comes to a plan, the only thing really I guess you have to worry about is the guys that were healthy and have put in a good summer and then all of a sudden get injured in training camp. We seem to have that happen once or twice every training camp, and if we can avoid that, things should line up just fine for the Edmonton Oilers here going into 24-25. And obviously we have some more depth this year too, so having to use some different guys to plug the lineup together early on, just as we have had to do the past 2 years, isn't going to necessarily be the worst thing either. But I think overall, no matter what your concerns with this Edmonton Oilers squad are going into next season, the start of the year despite the short start, should and needs to be better than it was last year. And by November 24th, you should be able to compare and contrast both years and look at a much better squad in 24-25 than you did in 23-24 through the first about month and a half of the NHL calendar. Friends, this is Dolynny TV. Thanks for being aboard here this morning. Appreciate you. I know I look tired. Well, hey, you know what? I just woke up and got something done for you. But for right now, I am up on out of here.